Hello, hello. Bev,
Hey, what's going on?
I'm just chilling.
You're just
with
chilling.
Just chilling with my food and my drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need to
Oh,
find my
hey,
coffee.
Rosie,
You
what
have the
are
right
you
idea.
drinking?
Oh, it's just a cucumber and watermelon drink.
Well,
Nothing
it
fancy.
looks refreshing.
It is.
What are you drinking, Bev?
So I do. It's water, but there are cucumbers in my canister. So it's cucumber infused.
Nice. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Christina Kuzmich, and this is the Lunch Whisperer, and we are so excited to basically just help you deal with the chaos that is life and the chaos that is lunchtime so often. I don't know why lunch is like the most stressful meal, but I just want to eat my lunch in peace. Can anybody relate? I just want to eat my lunch in peace without picky eaters. So what we're going to do is we are going to give you a Lunch Whisper endorsed recipes and strategies and solutions to make all the chaotic parts of mealtime a little easier for you. So I want to introduce, we have Bev.
Hi.
Bev, you are known as the Unapologetic Grazer. Can you explain that to me?
Well, it's just kind of what it is. I love to snack. I'm always finding little like things to eat around the house, and I will always make you like a board. If anybody comes over, I'm like, quick, let me make a cheese board. And I'm not, I'm not guilty. I don't feel guilty about it. Like, let's just eat it, and that's what we're doing. We're gonna graze, and no one's gonna care.
I love that. I mean, honestly, I could just eat all day. Like, I feel like different people have different talents. Mine is eating. So I feel like, where do you live? You're not anywhere near me. I'm in California. Where are you?
Kansas City.
Okay, well, I think you should move next door. I think there's a house actually for sale on my street, and we can just graze together.
Perfect.
That sounds lovely. I love a good cheese board. Yes. Okay, and then we have Rosie, who is our passionate chef.
Hi,
Rosie,
everyone.
tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I am a mom of two. So you can only imagine I have a 10-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I'm always in the middle of fighting whether I'm going with what Haley wants me to make, what Chase wants me to make. So and I've been cooking for a very long time. I became an aunt really, really young. So cooking is my passion.
I love it. I love it. And Bev, you have kids too.
I do. I have boy-girl twins, Will and Natalie. They're 7.5, and they want to make sure you know that it's 7.5.
Of course.
It's not 7. It's 7.5.
You know, in our family, we actually celebrate half birthdays with half a cake.
I think we will. I think January 6th is their birthday, so I guess June 6th or yeah.
I think that's important. I am 42 and like less than a quarter, like 1/8, I think.
Yeah.
But I have 3 kids. And it's a large age range. My oldest will be 18 this summer, and then I have a 16-year-old, and then I have a 7-year-old who just turned 7 on Sunday. So very different tastes in food, dislikes, likes. I'm sure every parent watching can relate. But I want to start off by talking to you guys about, so life is sort of going back to sort of normal, and I'm like crying watching all these social media posts, my friends posting like, oh, I just got to see my mom again after a year or whatever. So I want to know, have you hosted any gatherings? Have you had to make a cheese board for anyone recently, Bev? And how is that looking for you guys?
So we're actually, I have Erin's sister and her daughter come to town this weekend. We saw family over Easter, and we had all been vaccinated right after the 2 weeks, and we were all just like, what? And we hadn't seen anyone in a year and a half. And when we did see people last year, we were so psycho about it. We were like, test before you come over, like we would go and do, like for travelers, And we were very, very cautious, So, but it feels nice to have the vaccinations under the belt, or I guess in the arm, and we can safely hang out again, and it feels so good. It really does. It really does.
Have you hosted like any parties or?
No, this weekend. I have my friend's birthday is this weekend, and so we're like doing a Memorial Day thing, and people and Carolyn in town. So it's gonna be. I will get to make a cheese board this weekend. I'm so excited!
Yay! Yay! Actually, Bev, stick around, guys, because Bev is gonna give us a fun little trick on how to make your board look fancy. Speaking of fancy, I'm still in my pajamas. I live in my pajamas now, and I'm good with it.
That's good. I love it too.
Flowers on pajama is as fancy as I'm going these days.
That's right.
What about you, Rosie? Have you hosted any gatherings? Or I know it's basically brunch season. In my house, it's brunch season every season. But have you gotten to cook for anybody recently?
So I currently hosted Mother's Day, which was also my mother's birthday this past month. And it was nice to have my mother here. My mother-in-law was here, my sister-in-law, my sister, everyone was here, and it was really nice. It was a very small circle, but it was nice to have like a lot of finger foods. So I have a little one approaching. Hey, Chase.
Oh, perfect. Little mini chef's coming. Yay. So what, well, you're a chef, so maybe you can help us with this. Like, do you have, I know a lot of people get stressed out about hosting a brunch, and especially now, like, I know I'm eager to have people over and reconnect. Do you have any tips for like, hey, here's something easy to make, or here's how to make it less stressful when you have kids running around and you're trying to plan something? Any tips that will keep me sane, please share them.
Fresh fruits, fresh veggies. I enjoy really putting together sandwiches as well. I mean, cold cut sandwiches. I mean, let's be real. Who doesn't like a cold cut sandwich with some lettuce and tomatoes in there, maybe even cabbage, a ketchup mayo mix? It's all about the sauce. It's all about the sauce. So you can never go wrong with cold cuts. You're going to always find cold cuts in my fridge all the time. I mean, I could please the little one, I could please the older one, and even the older one.
Yeah. Actually, this is obviously done. If you guys are watching, you can see the Hormel Natural Choice, up top. Obviously, we're partnering with them. And I do have to say, I have used Hormel Natural Choice for years because it's guilt-free.
Yep.
And in fact, when I posted that I was doing this partnership, an old friend of mine from college commented and said, that is the only brand I buy. And I love your sandwich idea, because I think a lot of times we think when we're hosting, we have to, impress someone with something super fancy. And a lot of times people don't want the foo-foo food. They want the really good, they want to eat. They're hungry. And a really great sandwich, like you said, everybody loves a sandwich. Who doesn't love a good sandwich? So I love that. Like, don't stress yourself trying to be overly, creative and fancy and whatever, and just make a bunch of delicious sandwiches. It's all about the sauce. I'm going to remember that, though. I'm going to think of some good sauces for my sandwiches. What about you, Bev? Like, do you have any, this is how I make it less stressful for myself?
Well, I mean, I'm going to piggyback Rosie, but also like when you're doing a cheese board, or like the cheeses can sit out, you can get those out 30 minutes ahead. So like, there's a time saver thing for you. It's like that part you can get done. And I love like to hit the cold cuts. I always either roll it up on a board and just a simple roll, or I'll show you how to make like flour in a minute, and make flour. And I mean, it's an easy thing. And then you just and cold cuts don't actually have to be cold, even if they're room temp with the cheese.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, it always tastes so good. Like you, Christina, I've always bought Hormel Natural Choice. I like the packaging. I like that it's, cardboard, and it's attractive. And it's guilt-free. I absolutely love it. The ham, I stack it with some smoked salmon.
Oh, you guys are making me so hungry.
I know.
To add to your cheese board thing, because again, we're all moms, and I know a lot of parents are watching. I feel like I don't know about you, but I feel like I've become less controlling the longer I've been a mother. Yeah. And now I just let my kids like help out. And with a cheese board, but even if you are a perfectionist and you want your cheese board to look a certain way, you've had a vision in your head, maybe you even like painted it out, and you know exactly what you want, and you don't want their sticky little fingers in there. I always think like, give them a board. Just give them a cutting board, and then let them create their own board. And by the way, the best thing about that is they're more likely to eat something if they're involved.
Yes.
So now they make their own board. If you don't want to, you don't have to serve it to your guests, but let them make their own. They're going to show it to you. even if it looks like a mess, you're going to do what all of us moms do. You're going to lie for love, and you're going to go, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
And then they're going to be so proud. They'll be like, well, now I want to partake and eat it. So I think a lot of times because we're stressed out, we sort of push our kids out of the kitchen. But I think that actually, I think if we're worried about picky eaters, they'll be less picky if they get to get involved and feel like they're proud of something they created.
Yeah. And that goes back to the unapologetic grazing, because when I get home from school, it's so easy for me to just go, here's some strawberries, and I'll cut them up and like grab some crackers, grab some string cheese, grab some cold cuts, grab it, you know, whatever, and then let's put it together, and maybe I'll include a piece of chocolate on here.
Oh,
maybe, you know.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, snack boards, I call them cheese boards, but snack boards, grazing boards, it's a simple way to like get a little bit of all the food groups, you know, simply and attractively.
Yeah, and actually, I know that school is like ending now, and some kids are back in school in person, some aren't, but that's actually also a great tip for school lunches, because I'm not going to name any names, but 1, maybe 2 out of 3 of my kids, extremely picky. And I found that if I like made a whole sandwich or made something, they might take a bite or two, bring home the lunchbox, and it's pretty much still full of food. But if I put all the separate little things, almost like throwing a little
buffet,
cheese board, meat board, right? But in the lunchbox, and they get to build it.
Yes.
Now it's a game. Now it's fun. Now they want to eat what they built. So it's like the tiniest little changes. And by the way, it's easier because I'm just throwing stuff in there instead of building it myself. So they're doing all the work. But it's those tiny little changes that make them actually enjoy their food more.
Completely agree. They have ownership.
Rosie, yeah, exactly. Do you, Rosie? I'm spilling my drink all over the place. Do you let your kids in you're chefs, so I don't know how particular. Like, do you allow your kids in the kitchen?
Well, my older one, my 9-year-old Haley, she is very involved. Just yesterday, she made mac and cheese on her own, of course, with my supervision, but she is very, very active in the kitchen.
Does she want to come visit me for a weekend? Because I could use a good mac and cheese right now.
I'm surprised she's not here right now whipping something up, but Haley, she loves the kitchen.
Oh,
speaking of, there she is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know. I really feel, I mean, I think we're all control freaks. I don't want to talk for anybody, but especially with parenting, like, because we love our kids so much, and, you know, and then on top of that, we get controlling about like what their birthday parties are going to look like, or any sort of gathering. You know, summer, there's a lot of people getting together. 4th of July, I'm sure a lot of people get together. We just get so controlling. And I found that the more I let go of that control and realize that it doesn't all have to be perfect, it's actually less chaotic. I think we're trying to control the chaos.
Right.
But we're actually creating more chaos by being perfectionist. Does that make sense?
It's because we're on social media all the time, and we see perfection all the time. And so we're like, but it doesn't look like what Instagram has. And we got to let that. And you know what? It does. It's pretty. It's fine. Yes. Throw a twig in there and a flower clipping, and you're good to go.
Exactly.
Like, it's fine.
Yes. I do think that the whole comparing and competing in social media is like crazy. Like, we have to just tell ourselves, that board that person posted that looks perfect, that only looked like that for a second.
Yeah.
And then some kid came. Yeah, they threw a Lego in there. Yeah. The cat jumped on it. Yeah, I mean, we have to remind ourselves, like, and by the way, I think real life is so much more interesting than perfection anyway. Like, I'm drawn to real. So take the pressure off yourselves, parents. And
just, you find yourself building on one side and my kids are picking out of it on the other side, that's okay. I mean,
yes.
Fine. I'm going to have a picture of a half-eaten board on Instagram.
Yeah. All right. Exactly. I'm really excited. I always get like a little weary to say that life will go back to normal. I don't even know what that means anymore, but I'm really excited. I'm just like looking forward to having people over, to entertaining. And again, I think, especially because of the way how stressed out everybody's been during this year, I think it has put everything in perspective, at least for me, where I am going to take a different approach when entertaining. I mean, even this last weekend, we had some people over for my son's birthday, and I was not worried about anything being perfect, being a certain way. We had delicious food, but it was real. It was real food. It wasn't like, you know, Instagram perfect.
Totally. I think that this year, I'm in New York, so we live a very fast-paced life here, and I think that this year has really taught me how to slow down and really enjoy my friends and family, my own family. We were together in the home for almost an entire year.
Yeah.
Enjoying each other, getting to know each other's pet peeves and likes and dislikes. I think that I've gotten to know my kids this past year and my fiance more than I would have in like 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so ready
amazing.
to like have everyone come over, barbecue, and just really, really enjoy my friends and family.
Totally.
And that's what it's really all about. I grew up in Croatia, and it's almost like I forgot the way I was raised. Like I was raised where food and mealtime is about community. That's what it is about. It's about connecting with the people we love. It was never about anything being perfect.
Right.
And then I don't know if it was social media or what. I got sucked into that world. And now I feel like I'm going back into, I just want to be surrounded by people I love and food I love, and I'm happy. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rosie, I cut you off. What were we going to say?
Oh, actually, I was now I'm going to, like what you just said, I have found that two things, like the pandemic has given us a lot of grace for what perfection actually means. You know, like coming out of this, having people over, like, okay, let's just have some grilled cheeses and tomato soup from tomato soup from the garden.
I've never tried it. I'm willing to try.
Yeah, exactly. And it's simple and it's beautiful, and let's just have a really good time with some wine and some jazz and like that. That's one thing. And but then it's interesting how you're like, you got sucked into the perfect world and now we're pulling back out. It's interesting to me, like when I'm not trying and I'm just cooking and I'm here and I'm doing something and I kind of glance over and it's like, that would be even prettier than what anything on Instagram is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like just the little tiny like cookbooks. You talk about being from Croatia, like I'm sure the old cookbooks from like the Croatian, like the beautiful, the bread dough, the you know, the raw flour here and there, and just like hands that are old, and like the window open in the background, like that kind of stuff. It's just a moment, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not but it's just perfect.
Yes.
You know? Redefining perfect.
Yes. To me, real life is perfect. It's amazing how if I post a picture, I just did this recently, of my dirty sink, like, you know, overflowing, and people are like, oh my God, like people want to see that. They want to see real life. An empty, perfectly clean sink is not relatable to anybody. No. So I encourage anybody watching, like post the real. By the way, anybody watching, if you guys have questions for us about picky eaters or mealtime ideas, maybe you're hosting a gathering soon and you want some ideas, just let us know, and we're gonna try to answer a few in a minute. Okay.
As I just scrubbed my sink because
you just scrubbed it.
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, do you want to come scrub mine? Like, is there something you enjoy doing? Okay, so Bev, you have a trick for us with the brunch board. Will you please teach us?
Okay. So, I mean, the funny thing is that I made bacon buds, and I don't know, it just came to me. Instead of making roses, I was looking about how to make bacon roses, and mine are more buds. But what you do, and it's less about what they look like singularly, because on their own it's really awkward, but together on a plate, like when you nestle them all together. But let me just show you. So you take some bacon. I used Hormel brand, obviously, and
is it already cooked when you take it?
No. So you just take the bacon, you roll it up, and you put a toothpick in the very bottom. And I just stacked them up on a baking sheet with some foil in the bottom with a little rack on top. $3.75 for about 45 minutes. Now this is the thing. Some people, myself included, it's like if you've got the 45 minutes, you can start the bacon while you're doing other things. Come back, because it is 45 minutes. And then they'll crisp up. I don't know if you can kind of see.
Can you hold it a little higher? Hold on, I gotta move the comments. Really good. Yes, now I can see it.
Let me get another one that's not so weird. Oh. Okay, you see how it's like,
yes.
It's a bacon bud. It's the
That's so cute. Wait.
But, yeah.
Go ahead.
Together, when you nestle them together, because I made quite a bit. I hope I'm not making anyone uncomfortable. Like when you put them on a board surrounded by like strawberries and croissants and things like that, it's actually attractive. It's not right out of the oven. They're shiny and glossy and really pretty. But let me show you also, if you don't want to go to the extreme of like making the bacon buds, you can cook the bacon, whatever you want to do. But you can also, I have this, and I also have this pecan smoked Hormel Natural Choice, just ham, deli ham, which is perfect. I tried this 2 different ways, and I'll make it fast. Honestly, just take your your cold cut and fold it over once, and then just sort of, we did this at Valentine's Day. I don't know if anybody watching might remember this, and wrap it like this. And then you get that. Now what you can
That's
do
so
is
cute.
keep going with it with another one that's folded and kind of overlap it. And that way, that came together in no time at all. And when you put this kind of nestled by your cheeses and your strawberries, it's really pretty. It's aesthetic, you know. So you have your little meat flour, and
I love it.
it's pretty. I mean, and I always roll, but like when you add a little bit of the floral aesthetic to it, it's really lovely. It kind of just makes the board shine a little bit, you know.
I was gonna say, whether with your bacon or your ham roses, a little bit like basil leaves around it would look so cute.
Absolutely.
But see, even stuff like that, like when I think of that, I think of a fancy cheese board. But if I did that for my kid, especially youngest, he would think that was so cute, and he'd probably be more likely to eat it because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
By the way, I think from now on, when my husband wants to buy me flowers, I'm like, I want a ham bouquet. Because to me, that sounds more enjoyable than actual roses. Like, just give me a bacon or a ham bouquet.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing. Okay, Rosie, you have a recipe idea to share with us.
Yes. So mine is the Dominican Tostada. And for that, I was using the hard salami by Hormel's Natural Choice. And let me tell you guys that I made it this past weekend. And I didn't tell Nick anything about what kind of meat I was using. And he loved it. He was like, there's something different in here. And he automatically knew the freshness of the salami, loved it. Now for me, I'm all about the sauce. I'm all about the sauce. So I like to make, I'm going to be sharing the recipe after the live, but I love to make this ketchup and mayo sauce that we make in a lot of Latin American countries. And you can also grate just a little bit of garlic in there as well. So it's just ketchup, mayo, a little bit of garlic, salt and pepper if you like. And it just makes a huge difference in the sandwiches. So when I make these tostadas, I usually lay everything out. And I have the kids pretty much pick and choose what they want, because I do have, the little one is very picky. He doesn't eat any veggies. He doesn't eat any fruits. So I'm one of those moms who are like always constantly trying to blend things in so that he can have, you know, the nutrition he needs. So it's pretty much like a sandwich buffet. You leave everything out and toasting it and making it. It's sort of like a panini, but it's a tostada. It's a tostada. That's what it is. You can use any bread. Like I use a Portuguese roll. We also use pan de agua, which is water bread in Spanish. It's very similar to a Portuguese roll, but you can go ahead and use any bread, wheat bread, brioche, any bread.
So you're posting this afterward. I'm going to look at that.
I know, that sounds so good. I'm almost wondering, as I'm thinking of like, you know, hosting brunch and stuff, I don't know if this would work, and I don't know if you've ever done this, Rosie, but like instead of having it all done for the guests, like laying out all the ingredients, and it's almost like a make your own.
Yes.
And the best part is less work for me. I'm not building anything. I'm just putting the ingredients out on my counter. But I think guests would actually have fun with that, like build your own tostada.
I agree with that. It's less time for you in the kitchen and more time to conversate with your guests at the same time. You can all be making your sandwiches and all talking and having a great time and sipping on the mimosas.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know why I've never done this. Actually, I've never thought of it before. I love this idea of just, and you could do it like, for example, I just, a few weeks ago, I made a big pasta salad and I used Hormel salami for it.
Great.
But you could do like just a plain pasta, right? And then all these different meats and cheeses and vegetables and have it all out and with the dressing. And the people make their own, less work. And I as a guest would enjoy that. Like I would like making my own.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Cold pasta salads and just making your own. That's a great idea.
Perfect.
But I'm going to do the tostada too. And I think I like the idea of doing it with kids and just letting them sort of, you get to make your own tostada and then you get to name it. Maybe that would be fun for them. Like you get to give it some fun name. Especially my son always likes naming things. I don't know what it is. So makes it more interesting. Yeah. I actually, this is like my go-to for brunches. It's my go-to for school lunches. We basically eat this a lot, and this is what I'm eating right now. I don't know how well you can see it, and I took a couple
Cinnamon roll?
No, it looks like a cinnamon roll, but it's actually a ham and cheese roll. And by the way, for recipes, for tips, for anything like that, you can go to thelunchwhisperer.com. I just want to make sure I got that right. Yes, thelunchwhisperer.com, and you'll find recipes on there, tips, all this, more information, all that stuff. But basically, I make a pizza dough, or if you don't have time, you can just buy a lot of different stores. So, in fact, I heard, and I think this is true, I've never tried it, that if you go to your favorite local pizza place, they will actually sell you the dough. So you take the raw dough and you kind of stretch it out into a big rectangle. And then I used Hormel Natural Slices deli ham, but you can use salami, you can use anything. Yeah. You put that and cheese, Swiss cheese is good, cheddar, pretty much any cheese you like. And you just cover that big rectangle. And then you roll it up like you would a cinnamon roll, right? You cut it into 12. You put it in a pan to let it kind of rise again. And while you do that, you make this sauce. Again, you can get the recipe online. But the sauce is made out of butter, mustard, garlic, a little bit of brown sugar. I forget what else is in there. And you pour that sauce in the rolls before you bake them. And that's what gives it this, like, it almost looks like cinnamon. And I'm telling you, so I would make these on a Sunday and then put 1 or 2 for my kids' lunches, and it would last a few days, and they never got sick of them. And also for brunch idea, you just sort of time it so it comes out of the oven after everybody's settled, serve with a little salad or something. They think that, you went all out and you're fancy, and it's like, especially if you buy pizza dough, it is literally the easiest thing, and everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So, and again, another way you can be creative, have your kids pick which ham put a couple choices out for them. Which ham should we use? What type of cheese should we use? Right. Again, the more you give your kids choices, at least from my experience, they're more likely to eat it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, any other fun tips, ideas? Looking at your comments, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, go ahead. Anybody? Ooh, somebody made homemade pulled pork. Come on over. Val. Any other tips or anything else you can think of that you have discovered that would be helpful to people?
So I mentioned about my son being a picky eater. He doesn't eat any fruits at all. And I know a lot of moms go through the same challenge. So what I do is I normally make ice pops using blended, with some milk, some blended strawberries, different type of fruits. And I put them in the freezer and he actually eats them. Like he wouldn't eat like regular strawberry or tangerine. He doesn't eat any fruits at all. Same with the veggies. If I'm making a mac and cheese, I tend to like add some broccoli in there, maybe blend it with the cheese sauce, and that's how he has like that portion of veggies and fruits that he needs. Because
that's
otherwise,
a great idea.
He wouldn't eat it.
That's a great idea. I started tricking my youngest. Yeah. Thank goodness he does not have Instagram, because I say a lot of stuff on here that I do not want him to hear. But he loves smoothies. And same, like he'll eat some fruit, but I don't think he gets enough fruit. So we'll make him smoothies, but now we started throwing in a little spinach, just like not enough that he can taste it, but just a little bit. And I'm always like, oh, go check what your sister's doing, like doing it behind his back. But he drinks it. He doesn't even know it's in there. So I love I think tricking children is a very important parenting strategy. Yes, it is important sometimes to not be completely honest with your kids. I'm going to get attacked for this advice.
We showed him the globe and we're like, okay, so this kind of food comes from this area of the country. And this is 7-year-old's favorite thing to eat over there. So you're going to love it because those kids love it.
I love that actually. Yeah. I actually love that idea. Yeah. That's awesome. And you're probably lying because. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, it's different this. They love it. That's okay. My friend Amy calls it lying for love. Like we're lying because we love them. We love them so much. All right. Well, it was so awesome chatting with you. Next month we will be chatting about road trips, road trip food, and camping. Which I'm gonna be honest, I'm good with road trip food. Like I feel like I've been on the road enough with my kids and the long flights, to Croatia to visit my family. So I have some good tips for packing up foods for road trips. I'm not as good with camping, but I hear you ladies can help me with that.
Yep, right? we're gonna talk about some foods we can grill.
Okay, good. I need some camping. I'm more of a glamping. I'm like, give me a hotel. But I know a lot of people love the whole stay in a tent around a lot of bugs. I can't relate, but I can't wait to hear your tips.
I'll camp the entire day, but staying overnight, it's tough. Oh,
so you're like a half-half.
I'm a half camper.
Oh, I didn't even know this was an option. I just always said no to camping because I thought I'd have to sleep.
Soon as the sun sets, I'm out of here.
Oh wait, you leave, you go back, you go home when the sun sets.
Oh yeah, they just like the bugs and no.
Oh,
I'm a half camper.
yeah. Oh no.
Okay, so
See, I do long road trips with the kids. You know, we've done those, and I know how to prepare for that. But like camping, it's tough. But I also like try to get. I've got some ideas. I've got like some really cool stuff that my husband did the last time we actually like roughed it with all of our friends pre-pandemic. And it was brilliant, and I absolutely loved it. So I'll share those tips next month.
Okay, I'm excited. And also, anybody watching, if you have tips, I mean, we have our own stuff that we figured out, but I know for myself, and I'm sure Rosie, we love learning new ideas and new tips and tricks and recipes. So please share them with us. You can comment on Hormel Natural Choice page or our pages. Give us any ideas. I mean, I feel like, you know how they say it takes a village? It is so true. Like 99.9% of what I know is the ideas I got from other parents.
Totally.
And then there's that tiny little percentage where I actually thought of a brilliant idea myself.
Yeah.
So let's help each other out. This was so fun. Thank you. I'm already excited to do like the make your own tostada. So I feel like I got something out of this for sure.
And the bacon roast buds, love them. That's a great idea for the cheese board.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm totally going to do that. So what was I going to say? Oh, one more time, thelunchwhisper.com. And you can find recipes and information there. And I believe all the things that we mentioned, our recipes and our ideas will be on there. So, and we might add some of your tips if you share them with us. All right. So thank you so.
Before we go? Or
yeah. Any questions?
Any lingering questions?
I'm looking through this. There's a lot of comments, but I'm not seeing questions.
I saw one about how to make your ice pop, and I think it's just basically like combining freezer.
Yep.
Oh yeah, can you give us a little more detail on the ice pops? Why am I not seeing that question? Go ahead, Rosie.
It was a while back, but I did see it. I was like, oh,
okay.
So I usually use whole milk and strawberries, depending on whatever fruit we're having that week. So the strawberries, I blend it up, put it in an ice pop container, pop it in the freezer, and he has it like it's like strawberry milk.
Perfect.
You know what? I did notice, like, whenever I've looked for recipes for stuff like that, people add sugar, and I don't even think it's necessary. Like, you don't add any honey or sugar or anything, right?
No. Fruits already have sugar on its own. I don't add any sugar. I mean, my kids don't need any sugar.
Yeah.
Year-old.
Yeah.
Well, that's
what about a wine pop?
Ooh.
Oh, wait. What?
What about a wine pop? I mean, like, no milk, but like, do people just freeze their? I don't know.
Well, what about like a sangria pop? Okay, forget the kids. The kids are in bed, and now it's mom time. Let's pretend. So, wait, could you do like a sangria pop?
I like that.
What is it that does not
fruits
freeze?
in there?
Because you know how people, like, is it vodka that doesn't freeze?
Oh.
Which one?
Yeah, that's true.
Freeze? We could omit that one and just do like fruit, red or white wine, some citrus, like really finely sliced, like lemon and lime. So when you pull it out, it's gonna get the really pretty. I don't know. I think that'd be really fun.
I am officially giving you this as homework. I'm not kidding. Next time we meet up, I would like to hear the results. I know I have no power over you, but let's just pretend that I do. Okay, let's just pretend that I can force you to do this for me.
And you know what? If we're camping in our backyard, you know, because camping can really be anything, and so the pops we could tie that in for next month and show you guys the results of our sangria pops and our other tips and trips for
that'd be really great.
Camping. That'd be fun.
I love that because you're right. We spend a lot of time just making sure that our kids have yummy food and that it's cute enough and right. And I've always said this to my followers, and I will never stop saying it. We have to take care of ourselves.
Totally.
By taking care of ourselves, we are taking care of the most important person in our child's life. So if you are watching and your whole life has just become about serving, you're gonna lose your freaking mind. You are going to lose your mind. So do something for you. Make yourself the most amazing decadent lunch, even if your children won't eat it. And make yourself some, what are we calling them? Wine?
Sangria pops?
Sangria pops.
And I'm sure the internet already has that, but like
I just saw coquito pops up here in the comments. That sounds great too.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Or like
Hey,
a
Rosie, you're in
mojito.
charge of that one.
Mm.
Okay, I'm so excited about this. I'm actually
I
so excited. Now I want to go camping. If this is what camping is like, I would like to go.
I'll go out and sleep in my backyard for a sangria pop.
Oh,
Okay.
I will be around bugs for a
Yeah.
sangria pop. Yes.
It makes it all
All
worth
right.
it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
I could do this every day with you ladies. I feel like
know.
this is so important. It
It
makes
is.
me feel less alone in my own chaos, and I love
Yeah.
getting new creative ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same. It's been
All
a
right.
treat.
Yes. Anybody watching, stay connected with us before the next live. Let us know if there are topics you want us to cover, if you have questions you want us to answer, and again, any tips you want to share. We would love to hear from you. But we are looking forward. Again, next time we will be talking about road trips, camping, and all the amazing food that'll make it a little less stressful and more enjoyable.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Rosie and Bev,
Thank
so
you.
much.
Hey.
Bye,
Bye.
Bev.